This is All Access MMA.
My next guest just keeps picking up impressive victories. He got another one this past weekend at UFC Vegas 44, taking out Brendan Allen. It's Chris Curtis, the Action Man, back here on the program. Chris, how's it going, man?
Life is good, man. Life is really good right now, actually.
So
Just
one
so
thing
good at when things go wrong.
one thing I wanted to start out with, and sorry to interrupt you there, impolite Canadian of me, but you mentioned in our last interview that you had a fight in the works. Was it this fight or was it another fight? I was trying to remember.
What?
This was right after you beat Phil Hawes. You're like, there's something in the works. So it was a different fight then? Because I didn't think it was.
Actually putting in to fight, they asked me about Andre Munoz.
Okay.
That I was trying to get in on because there was that. And then there was Kyle Dukakis as well. Wasn't there that I wanted to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the two we were talking to, and those didn't happen. And then this happened, so it all worked out.
It did. It certainly did. I don't know if you pay attention to the odds or not, but did you know you were an even bigger underdog heading into this fight than the Phil Hawes fight?
I do pay attention to the odds. I take them very personally. Like, actually, I've been on the YouTube the last 2 days, like going to every prediction page and telling them to eat their words. And I actually got like 4 videos I saw today of people apologizing, like, dude, we shit on you. We're sorry. So like, yeah, I take the odds very personally.
Interesting. Were you surprised though that compared to that fight that you were an even bigger underdog here against Brendan?
No, the internet hates me. It's fine. Like, just like I could save like a house full of burning orphans and kittens, and they'd still be like, "You suck, you suck. You're never gonna do anything with your life." So like, yeah, the internet hates me. It's fine.
So let's talk about leading into fight week and everything like that. Having Strickland there and the fact that Brendan hates Strickland so much, do you feel like, did that kind of add a little bit to you just fighting him? Because like I've interviewed Brendan for a while, I think since his like second or third pro fight, and I've never seen him get so upset at one particular person. So do you feel like that in some ways added a bit more to the fight? The fact that Sean, and you could hear Sean in the cage too.
So for me, it wasn't really a thing. Like I find their like weird rivalry. It's not really a rivalry because like Sean just doesn't care. Sean's just a dick to everyone, and Brendan took it personally. And like, you know, on fight week they kind of butted heads, and then like, you know, I talked to Brandon. I like Brandon. He's a nice guy. Like, you know, he was kind of dismissive. I think he was more so trying to get Sean out of his own head and try to shoot me down. I talked to him. Sean even like tried to bury the hatchet a little bit. Like, all right, man. I was like, it's just, I find it hilarious, but you know, for me, it's nothing. Like, I'm not gonna focus on his. If I spent my life worried about the people that are pissed off at Sean, I'd never have time for anything else. So like,
I understand that for sure. So what was the game plan going in? Because I'll tell you one of the things about this fight, like you took him out of his element early on, like it was like in his face. He couldn't really get going at all. Was that? I imagine that was the game plan, is just sort of take him out of what he was trying to do.
Yeah, we, you know, I get a lot of shit for the Phil Hawes fight still, but people have to realize that, you know, the Phil Hawes fight, I was going in there against a bigger, stronger guy with a wrestling pedigree, so we kind of had to play that one. And then, you know, we got in the fight, I realized how fast he was. You know, we kind of had to play that one off our back foot, and it's just, you know, it wasn't worth the risk of trying to go bang with somebody that big. But with Brendan, man, the plan was, we knew that he's a Sanford guy now. His kickboxing looked really good against Puna. We knew he was going to be flighty. He was going to kick a lot. You know, he's very clean. So we're just like, every time he kicks, you touch him in the body. Don't let him get comfortable. Stay off angle. And just, you know, the entire time, everybody's telling me, reminding me, start fast, start fast, start fast. I don't have to go guns blazing, but I got to be faster than I was. I think one of my biggest issues always was being a 5-round fighter. I had more time to ramp up. So we're kind of just now getting, for me, comfortable starting faster in 3 rounds. So we starting fast in 3 rounds, man. Just stay on him, make him uncomfortable. Every time he goes to attack, make him pay for it. Combinations and body shots. Like, just make him uncomfortable.
I know you mentioned that in the post fight about working the body shots. Is that just something that you're good at, or you saw a weakness in Brendan where you're like, I got to exploit that?
I body shot any and everything. If I had to fight a bear tomorrow, I'd punch it in the body. It's just where I'm most comfortable. But for him, just for Brendan, we did think it was going to be a bigger option because he's tall. He likes to lean back off his back foot. When, you know, he's really good at blocking the first 2 punches. Like, he's slip and roll, but he tends to lean on his back foot, which makes it harder for me to land the 3rd punch. But if I go to the body, then he's leaning back, he's open. So we're like, okay, well, he kicks a lot, he knees a lot. Every time he does that, that foot comes off the ground, we hit him in the body. And like, it takes the footwork away, it takes away his desire to kick, and it starts slowing him down. So, it was something we were good at. So since we were good at it, we're like, you know what, let's just bet the entire bank on it.
You get the finish, incredible performance, and you celebrating all that. How did you enjoy yourself that night? How did you celebrate?
I literally went back to the room. Everybody left. Sean and I watched the rest of the card. Then I went home and I slept.
That's it. But know what? Sometimes it's better. You're exhausted, right? I mean, especially in your case, because you just fought last month, right? So it's it's one of those things.
I went home. I slept. The next day, we had breakfast, hung out, didn't do anything, watched some movies at the house with Lance and everybody. That's it. I went to the just back in the gym yesterday, so I don't really celebrate anymore. It's just like, all right, I'm dying, but I'm not entirely dead yet. Let's rest and go right back to it.
And the extra money, what are you gonna? I think I asked you this last time, but you're racking up some nice paychecks these days. So what are you gonna be doing with the money?
Absolutely nothing. I live a very cheap existence from being poor for so long. So I wanted to put in a chairlift in the house to go upstairs, but Lance won't let me. Even though we had an agreement, which they've gone back on. So barring not putting in a chairlift, so I have to walk upstairs. Just nothing, man. It's just nice knowing that I'm not gonna starve to death and my kid's taken care of. But I live a cheap life, man. I'll drive the same car I've been driving. I'll do the same stuff I've been doing. Now I can just focus on training without having to worry about paying my bills.
And just like last time, I'm sure the feedback overwhelming. A lot of people, I'm sure, sending you their tickets that they won money on you. So how has that been, man?
Even more. People are dying, man. They keep giving you even better odds. And I've gotten so many, even more ticket stubs now from people. This is I'm getting ticket stubs from Kosovo, from freaking Turkey, from Greece, from first of all, I love Irish fans now because I've had more Irish love than anything. Irish and Australian, they ride heavy. So it's been really fun, man. I've actually counted. I've only got 5 angry messages and 3 of them apologize later.
There you go. Anyone win any crazy money on your fight? Because again, the odds were nuts.
I know there's a couple guys that I know some guys in Australia showed me he made $27,000. Guys have made $15,000. They were people cleaned up, man. I'm oh, we bet the house on you. I'm I'm glad you won, but please don't do that in the future. That's terrifying. It's indicative of a gambling problem. Relax. One guy sent me a message
I think
today.
the round 3 prop for you was plus 1,000 or something like that. So if anyone had played that, I think it was serious money, right?
Oh, it's even better. I had a guy today though. He's like, "You lost me money twice. I can't pay for my grad school now." I'm that's a gambling problem, sir.
Have you ever thought about just getting Sean to respond to all the messages, or do you think they'd probably cancel you off Instagram?
No, Sean just doesn't talk to people. Sean doesn't talk. He just bitches.
He just posts videos and then in his car. By the way, that seems to be his studio. So.
He drives back and forth from California, which I'm like, you really shouldn't be recording when you're driving, bro. And he's like, it's fine.
Yeah, so that's good. Kind of on that note, what's the plans for the holidays? Are you going to stay in Vegas, or are you going to head back east? What are the plans right now?
I'm gonna head home. I believe I'm cornering one of my buddies on the 18th.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll go home for Christmas and probably be back right before New Year's and just right back in the gym, man. But I really want to go home and spend some time with my boy and hang out, get a little bit of rest in, then right back on it, man. This is a really good year, so I want to get a jump on next year. There's a lot more I want to do.
Have you been able to soak all this in? I know I asked you this last time, but now you got 2 wins, nice paycheck, and again, we've had how many interviews, and it's always the same thing. When's the UFC going to call? Now you're 2-0, man. Have you been able to soak all that in?
Kind of, but now I'm just waiting for something to go wrong. I'm this is not how my life goes. This is not how things work for me. So now I'm yeah, this is great. And everybody now, it's weird because now you have fans yeah, man, you should be top 15. You should be 3 fights away from the belt. And I'm 3 fights away from a belt at middleweight. Lance and I were laughing because we're this is a joke that got out of hand. Yeah. This is really a joke. Me at middleweight is a joke that has gotten really far out of hand. And we're well, I guess we're at middleweight now. So now I'm just ooh, well, this is unexpected.
Well, has the UFC said anything about you staying at middleweight, or what is the plan in terms of weight class?
Well, I think I just killed 2 prospects at 85, so I kind of owe them some middleweight fights. So it seems only fair. So, but it's kind of hard to argue. I'm always worried about it, but I felt fine
Mhm.
at 185. Excuse me.
No worries. You got a lot going on right now.
Gotta get up early. But I
Yeah.
feel fine at 85, man. I didn't feel weak at all. I'm a little smaller, but I feel really strong at the weight. I feel more explosive. I'm not draining myself to get to 70, so my cardio is going to be better. And for now, I guess I can just focus on being a little bit stronger and not hating my life making weight. So camp's a lot more fun. I can fight on short notice. Uh, it's risky, but if it's working, we might as well ride it till the wheels fall off. Like we said before, this is for us, man. This is just playing with house money. Like, if I win, like, oh hell yeah, I'm beating middleweights. If I lose, well, you're a welterweight, so why not ride until the wheels fall off?
And the thing is, Brendan's a pretty big middleweight. Like I was at the Boston card when he fought Holland, and like he could fight at 205, I think, with how big he is. So I'm sure just getting to be in the cage with him and beating him the way you did probably makes you think, hey, maybe I should just stay in this weight class. It's all good. Is that kind of being in there with some of the bigger guys? Because Hawes is a bit shorter, right? But Allen's like,
but
he's
Hawes is also the size of two doors. Like
that too. Yes. He's like a Hector Lombard type. He's a stocky guy.
I remember touching gloves and looking at him. And I was thinking, like, I may have miscalculated like a few things in this, and it was like, oh my god, I was looking at, like, is this how people feel when they fight me, like giant scary black dude? Because I looked at him and I'm like, oh my god, you are the giant scary black man here. Like, dude is huge, and I was just like, And then he's just stronger than me. He's faster than me. I'm like, well, this is entirely unfair, like, and kind of miserable. So. But I won. So at the end of the day, I'm like, how can I be too hard on myself if I'm succeeding? So, my life is a little bit more fun for me and easy and just less gray hair and like hungry nights at 85. So, I did well. We'll see where it goes from here.
Any opponents in mind, like in terms of a fun matchup you think would be cool at 85 or anyone on your radar right now?
I want to fight Dusko, man. Like he beat my teammate, and I'm really upset about that one. So I would like to get that back, just because I'm a very petty individual, and I'm it's just who I am. I accept it. And I don't know, like I really. So for me, it's weird because I was never expecting to be an 85er. So I've never really looked at this weight class too hard. So I don't really know how many people who are in the weight class.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, like the fans have been throwing names out there. They're like, fight Brad Tavares. I'm like, well, he's my teammate. Like, fight Julian Marquez. I'm like, well, okay, like I guess it's like, but it's just, I just want to do something fun, man. I want to have a fun fight. Like I just really want to have a fun fight.
And you would have trained with Julian, I think, when he was at Syndicate, right?
He fought. We trained together before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fighting at a high level. You fight your friends. It's fine.
Yeah. It's no big deal. Would you and Strickland ever fight?
I wouldn't want to fight Strickland, honestly. Like, you guys don't understand the amount of just anger this man has, to where, like, training is more than enough. Like, oh, you fight Sean. Like, I'd rather not, honestly. Like, it's a very small list of people I don't want to fight, and Sean is one of them because he just be miserable. Now, after I win, he's like, yeah, you keep winning, I'm gonna call you out. I'm like, go away, man. Go pick on someone else. Like, just stop it.
Chris, thanks so much for doing this. And again, congratulations on another big upset. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
All right, easy. So I finally was an adult because the fans were yelling at me like, this is ridiculous. So all my social media is now online. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram, ActionMan513. So yeah, I finally fixed that because everybody's like, it's too confusing. You've got like 7 handles. So I'm ActionMan513 everywhere. As far as sponsors go, just a big shout out to my guys, Iridium Sports Agency. They got me here. It's been a very, very rough trip, and I'm not the easiest guy to work with all the time. I can be emotional. So Jason, Lance, Jacob, all you guys, thank you for the belief, and on to the next one.